now, it's The Rock from 106.1 Kiss FM here with my tag team partner in podcasting.
It is Eric Cornish with WKDQ. It is holiday season. This is bigger than Christmas. This is bigger than New Year. It is WrestleMania.
Is the Super Bowl of wrestling, the granddaddy of them all. This is our last episode before WrestleMania 31 coming from San Francisco.
And we will be Santa Clara to be exact. But
is it? Yeah, that's right.
It's where the 49ers play, so why wouldn't it be San Francisco, right?
Yeah, Pontiac, Detroit, Santa Clara, whatever.
So we are going to run down the card and give our predictions, and we would love to hear from you as well. I want to thank Craig Beckwith, by the way, who tweeted us asking about the card a couple days ago, and it looks like the card is finished now. So so here we go, Craig, for you and for everybody else.
And it's a stacked card. Yeah. We know that the very first match of the night will be on the pre-show.
That we do.
It'll be a four-way tag team match. Champion, Kid, and Cesaro to team up and face three teams. We got the Usos, we've got the New Day, and we've got Los Matadores.
Yeah, Los Matadores. I mean, nothing against the performers that are playing that role, but that has never worked, and it's almost a little offensive. I mean, considering these guys are from Puerto Rico, not Mexico.
Hold on, the most offensive thing about this whole thing has been the word interspecies match.
That, for sure.
Hasn't it been?
For sure, yeah, I think so. I think, first of all, each one of these teams has a third member on the outside. I do think they will all be involved somehow. You'll obviously see Torito do something. And it looks like Xavier Woods is going to be the one left out for New Day, which is kind of sad for him, but maybe he'll go into the Battle Royal. But on this one, I'm going for a retaining the titles for Cesaro and Kid.
That's what I have too, although I don't feel confident about that. It would not shock me, actually, if the Matadors win this thing, or the Usos. But I feel like, yes, Kid and Cesaro will put on a good show and will retain the straps as well.
I still say they've got big things ahead of them this year, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do in the near future.
Yeah, absolutely. On the main show now, we've got a few matches. If they don't get cut, the Divas should have a tag match.
And I expect them to get a lot of time, actually. Seeing a 2-segment match from the Divas on Raw was refreshing. I still look forward to seeing some of the Divas, especially the Divas that they have in NXT, to come up because they are putting on killer matches every single night. Interesting concept here where they've kind of teased a little tension with AJ and Paige, but all of that.
Just call him Paige.
Paige. It's better than Rybaxel.
Yeah, I think so. Just saying.
I'm gonna go with the Bellas on this one.
Interesting, because I'm going to disagree. Again, none of these outcomes I feel very confident about, but I'm going to take Paige. I feel like the tension that they've been teasing is going to lead to an awkward title run.
Okay, and it very, very well could. But again, no titles on the line here.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I don't know why I said that. I'm sorry.
So,
I still think it's going to lead to an awkward win for them. And putting them in a position. I wrote Divas tag title match, and I don't know why I wrote that.
I mean, unless the Jumping Bomb Angels are going to show up and defend, by surprise, which could happen.
Well, wait a minute. There's been a Divas title in recent years, a tag title. The Layla and
Cool. Yeah, they just split the title in half.
Yeah.
I mean,
is that what it was?
Too, right?
All right. Well, I apologize for that confusion. Usually, I'm more awake.
That's okay. That's all right. I just think the Bellas. It's interesting the way that Total Divas this season ended was with both the Bellas kind of saying that they're not going to renew their contract. Of course, that was months ago anyway, and they've still been wrestling. So I don't really know how that plays in. Maybe that's part of this storyline. But
I do prefer when we disagree, though. It makes watching it a little more intense.
I have a feeling we might disagree on this one because this is going to be a lot more difficult to predict. The Andre Memorial Battle Royal.
Here's the thing. I almost feel like this shouldn't count, but let's go ahead and talk about it. Do we know all the names in it?
I think there's been about 20 names released so far.
I haven't seen that list.
We do know that there will be someone from NXT involved in this. They're having a tournament at Access to put somebody in that match. I'm not sure who that'll be. I'm going to lean toward Adrian Neville, but again, not to win the match at all.
Sure,
just to be in it. There's a lot of folks in this match, but I am going to go out on a limb here. Vegas odds have this guy very close to the top, and that is Damien Mizdow.
Really? Not a bad choice. I thought you were going to say Ryback.
I think Ryback should win. I don't think he will win.
Here's the thing. This is frustrating me because I haven't seen a list. I don't know all the details about who's going to be in this thing. The one thing I do know is the name that I'm mostly seeing, the most visible name around this Battle Royal, is Curtis Axel.
And that could be a big step for him as well. That would be interesting, especially considering the Royal Rumble angle and that he hasn't been eliminated.
Yeah, so
it could work. It could work.
I feel like if I have to put a name on it, the one name I know is going to be there is or watch him not even get in the ring like with the Royal Rumble.
Right. Well, and let's not forget this. There is another certain very pasty white guy who has not made his return yet either.
Who are you?
With red hair.
Oh, is he in that match?
I don't know, and it has not been announced. We just keep seeing that he's returning. I can't imagine that they keep him off of WrestleMania if he's returning and he's ready to go. Maybe they hold him off the night after WrestleMania. But I think this would be a perfect place for Sheamus. I don't want to see him come back and win it. But
no, you're ruining my day.
I know, right? But
my least favorite
I'm
wrestler.
I'm gonna stick with Miz now.
He's my least favorite current wrestler on the roster is Sheamus. How about the ladder match? Another match with many possible outcomes.
Again, very difficult. I think I've been hearing a lot of people say that Daniel Bryan is the favorite to win this, and I'm going to stick with that. I think Daniel Bryan is my pick to win. A close second might be Wade retaining, but I think between the two of them and Dolph Ziggler, I think are the front runners there. But who knows? You could see R-Truth come out and pull a surprise victory. He has kind of carried this feud, which is interesting.
I have to tell you, first of all, that's true, and he's been doing a decent job with it.
Yeah.
I've been enjoying with the hot potato that's been the Intercontinental title, the belt at least, not the title. Nevertheless, when you fill out your Final Four brackets and your March Madness brackets, you don't always take the over. Sometimes there's going to be some upsets. And you named a bunch of names that you put at the top, and the name that I'm going to say is not on that list. It's probably foolish for me to say anybody but Daniel Bryan, but I'm going to go with an underdog here, a name you haven't mentioned yet. I feel Dean Ambrose is going to win the ladder match.
I definitely think he's an underdog. I definitely think he deserves better than he's getting. I don't think he's going to get it on this one, and I'll stick with Daniel Bryan.
I feel like it's a big step back for Daniel Bryan, but all I keep hearing about is how he's going to be the new face of the Intercontinental title. If that happens to be the case, that's the case. But I think that's underutilizing him.
Yeah.
It'll be good for the Intercontinental title, but bad for the world title situation, in my opinion. I gotta go with my gut. I gotta say Ambrose.
Very cool. I would be happy to see that happen.
Your solution. I mean, Ziggler maybe. I feel like he never gets his push that he deserves.
Yeah, and every time he gets the title, it's gone within sometimes days. So I don't know. I'll stick with Bryan on that one. Moving up, this one I thought was obvious for me, but it's getting tougher.
This is not no match here. I feel like, with maybe one exception, is easy to pick.
And then this one, The Undertaker returning versus Bray Wyatt.
I have this resentment towards The Undertaker because he hasn't been around since literally last WrestleMania. Wyatt's carried the entire feud. I feel like the feud was out of left field. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But he's made something of it. I am excited to see it. I do expect to see Undertaker win.
I do too, and I'm gonna go ahead and lock it in for Undertaker. But lately, there's two reasons. One, looking at the rest of the card and seeing that I'm very, at least with my picks, I'm very babyface heavy on this card of winners. It makes me look at this and go, maybe Wyatt does do something here, and I've still, in the back of my mind, at least my fantasy booking tells me that Wyatt needs the family back. He doesn't need it so much as the family does.
Yeah.
But I think it increases his character.
It does.
Increases a way to get some heat on the Undertaker, maybe a win over the Undertaker, and it definitely gives more credibility to Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. I mean, Luke Harper's doing well on his own, but he's still just the guy that used to be with Bray Wyatt.
When the Shield split, they created 3 stars. When the Wyatt family did, they created 1. They created
1.5.
Yeah.
1.5.
So I agree. I think it's a shame because I think it's the bad decision. I think that you put your full-timer over as opposed to the guy you see once a year. But I don't think they'll do that. I think Taker's going to come back and beat Bray Wyatt.
I think Taker needs something big headed into next WrestleMania. provided that he's going to wrestle next WrestleMania, and I think he will, and I think he'll probably call it quits next year.
You think next year's the last one?
But
sounds right.
Especially if he's not going to show up between now and then, he needs something big, and I'll stick with Taker.
I feel like maybe next year will be Undertaker and Sting's last match together.
Could be.
I feel like they might wrestle each other and then they'll call it quits.
Could be.
We've got the one that gave me the most problem picking winners, Orton and Rollins.
This one, to me, has been easy all along. I think either way you go with this, I think Orton wins. I think Orton coming back, he's looking good so far. He'll probably fend off challenges from J&J Security and all that stuff and give him a win. Now, I say that either way, and what I mean by either way is even if that's just the match and it's over, or if Rollins decides to come back and bring that briefcase along with him later in the evening.
That could save the night for me.
Either way, Orton wins this match.
I have the same outcome. I have Orton winning, but I have in some way Rollins going over. Rollins looking good, and hopefully it will be cashing in later on in the night. I worry that they won't because they've been addressing it too many times on the air, but I feel like Orton wins, but Rollins will still look strong on Sunday.
All right, this next one. This one's tough for me too. Cena and Rusev for the U.S. title.
I did not have a hard time with this one. I feel Cena wins the U.S. title clean.
I also picked Cena, but that was a tough decision because, again, that's the end of Rusev's streak, that he's been on.
But a year's a solid streak.
It is. It is really good. So, I feel like they could do more with that, but I do see value in Cena taking the U.S. title. The same as in Bryan taking the Intercontinental title brings a lot back to those championships. It's a feel-good moment in the middle of WrestleMania, and again, babyface heavy, but that could be based on what happens in the main event, in my opinion.
My basis for this was Fastlane. Rusev destroyed him. It doesn't make sense for that to happen again to me.
True.
So there's my basis there. All right, the two big matches. The first one, Sting and Triple H, Mr. Cornish.
I think we talked about this already, that, we feel like, or at least I feel like, that Triple H should win and kind of continue this feud, make more out of it. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Sting comes out on top here.
I agree. I have Sting winning also, and it might not be the best move, but at this point, Triple H is a part-time wrestler too. I'm sure he's got more matches in him than Sting does, but it doesn't really matter.
This could be one with some extracurricular activity, I do believe. Some things we didn't expect happening in this one, but I'm going to stick with Sting on that one.
So that brings us to the main event. No easy feat picking a winner here either.
Oh, no.
Especially given what happened, 2 days ago?
Yes, you're talking about ESPN revealing the fact, or Brock revealing on ESPN after swerving them with a big announcement, that, hey, he's staying with WWE. He's done with MMA for his career.
First of all, this news made me legitimately very happy.
Oh, me too. And it also made me happy to see that, poor ESPN, who was hoping for a big scoop about Lesnar coming back to UFC or Bellator, was sorely mistaken, and they got a WWE angle all over ESPN, and I think that's great.
Additionally, that was the smart move, Lesnar. You made the right choice.
I would have not said this 2 days ago, but I'm saying it now. Brock Lesnar retains.
Really?
Yeah, and no matter what happens after that, if Rollins does come in and cash, that's fine too. And as I'm saying it, I'm already second guessing myself. But
it's
that's
locked
okay.
in, and I have locked in. We have a differing opinion in the main event. I have Reigns winning. Same conditions. I don't know what's going to happen after that, but I have Reigns beating Lesnar.
Okay.
So there you have it. Those are our picks. We got a few disagreements here. Should make Sunday interesting. We're excited to watch on the network, and of course, everyone has their own WrestleMania rituals. Let us know what you think about your predictions, our predictions, and remember, lock them in before Sunday. We want to know which one of our listeners is in tune with what's happening here.
Yeah, let's do it. WrestleMania is here. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you after WrestleMania.